up everyone, it's your girl Shay here and I'm back with another video for you guys, and this time I'm back with an anime review. That's right, an anime review. And the name of this anime that I watched, and I apologize if I butcher the name, it is Bonjour, Sweet Love Patisserie. I probably said that really wrong, but pretty much this anime is about a girl by the name of Sayuri who ends up going to a school for confectioners, or people who basically bake, and basically it's just their not really day-to-day life of going through this school, but there's also some romance involved with her and like a few of the teachers, and there's also another male student named Rio, whom she kind of likes, or who kind of likes her per se, but it's kind of hard to get like the full effect of what this anime is really about. Each episode is about 5 minutes long, so it's fairly short, and it's a total of 24 episodes, so it's pretty easy to get through. The only problem with the fact that since this show is 5 minutes long is that there's no like substance to this show. I felt like this show was like a combination of a few different shows that I've watched. It's a combination of the show Uta no Prince-sama, and the reason why is because it's kind of a reverse harem. So it's like one main character girl who has a best friend whom she goes to school with, and there's also about 4 boys who are vying for her affection, which is very similar to Uta no Prince-sama. Plus, it's very similar because both these shows have the lines of where they're pretty much told that they cannot fall in love with each other while they're there at that school, which is also something that's heavily, not really discussed, but it's a line that is said in this anime as well. This show also reminds me of Food Wars also because it's about food. Not only that, but there's a couple of other like sequences in this show where they're trying food, and they have like this not as etchy as it is with Food Wars, but somewhere along those lines when they try food and it's actually really good. And there's also a few sequences of like food wars like competitions, but since these episodes, like I mentioned, are only 5 minutes long, they don't go really into it. And even towards the latter half, when you do see a competition sequence, it is then said by the main character Sayuri that she would talk about what all happened, but that would have to be saved for another time, and they never actually really go into like how these characters are defeating their competition in these cooking competitions. The show is supposed to be like a comedy, romance, shoujo, slice of life kind of show. I got the slice of life part. I kind of got the romance part, but it was kind of hard to pin down which one of these characters was really vying for the main character's affection, since there are 4 boys, granted, but the only boy that I could really see that truly liked the main character was Rio, who was actually not a teacher, but actually another student pretty much. There was some comedy involved, and I would say there were a few episodes that I did have to chuckle at, but I would say there were moments when I was watching the show that I was very confused about what was actually going on or why anything was actually happening. One of the things that I feel like would have made this show better was if the episodes were a lot longer, because it would give you a lot more substance as far as like who the characters were, what their main objective is, and where this show is supposed to be going. Because since their episodes were so short, you really couldn't get a handle on a few of the characters. After a while you could, because they were actually so frequent in all the episodes that you knew whom these characters were, but I couldn't get a gist of what actually this entire show was supposed to be about. At first it started out where I thought this main character was pretty much going to be getting picked on because she is a scholarship student and not someone who got in based off of her talent, yes, but she didn't get in where she had a lot of money to actually pay for her to go to school there. And it was another girl that actually at the very first episode actually made fun of her because she was a scholarship student. But that only really happened in the first episode. In the subsequent episodes after that, it really wasn't mentioned as much that she was a scholarship student, and no one was really picking on her. The main villain, or whom you assume was supposed to be a villain in the entire series, turned out just being really annoying and was kind of like a Team Rocket-esque character. She seemed like she was only there for comedic effect, which really wasn't actually funny at all, but she wasn't there to really cause any drama with the main character, and she definitely didn't cause any issues between the main character and her potential love interest within the entire series. I know I said on Twitter that I found this show to be pretty boring and was kind of understanding why it had such low ratings on Crunchyroll, but let me digress. It didn't have as low ratings as I thought. I know on Twitter I said it had a 2.5, but in reality it was a 3.5, so it got another star. And I would have to say I'd probably have to give this probably about a 2.5 out of 5 stars, or maybe even a 1.5 out of 5 stars on this show according to Crunchyroll's rating. This is only because, like I mentioned, I couldn't get that into the show. I couldn't get into what the plot line actually was, and it was such a jumble of so many other different shows that I watched, but just more of a watered down and mediocre version compared to other shows that I've watched that is about these exact same dramatic effects or comedic effects and did it a lot better. For example, I would rather watch Uta no Prince Sama, where they have all these characters vying for this one character's affection, and the same with Food Wars that's about food and about cooking, than I would want to watch this show that's kind of jumbled all together and doesn't exactly make much sense. Now, would I recommend watching this show? In some ways, I kind of want to say yes. If you're looking for a show that you can just watch because it's so bad that it's good, then I would probably recommend watching this show. But if you want to watch a show where you want to see where the plot line goes, you want to know the characters a lot more, and you want more meatiness to a series, I wouldn't recommend watching this series because it's just not there. This show was just so bad to where it was just good. But that doesn't mean that I felt like I wasted my time with watching this entire series. Once again, this series is only 5 minutes per episode in a total of 24 episodes, so you can definitely get through this episodes or through this show in just one day. It's kind of like Hetalia, when Hetalia was like 5 minutes per episode, but even Hetalia was a lot better than this show. But that's my review on this show. It is not an older series, but it's not a newer series either. It came out in about the fall of 2014, so it's about 4 years old at this point. But like I mentioned, it's not a bad series. As far as the artwork is concerned in this show, I actually didn't mind the artwork of this show. I kind of liked the animation. It very heavily reminded me of Uta no Prince Sama, just because of how the eyes were drawn on the show and just a lot of the colors that was involved in it as well. Some of the colors also remind me of the show No Game No Life, but we know how much I did not like that series. But anyway, comment down below, let me know what you thought of this series if you've watched it before. If you haven't watched it before, is this something that you're maybe might be interested in at least taking a look at? Comment down below, let me know. Alright, you guys, that is my video on this anime. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys soon in the next one of my videos. Like always, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And like always, I'll leave links down below in my description box for all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog. And click the bell icon down below so that you're notified on when my new videos release, which is of course Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And like always, you guys, stay nerdy. Alright, you guys. Bye!